Button. You're gonna do 1 inch to the like ½ inch of your finger to the side.
Look at those babies. Those are some pretty big needles there, but that's a sharp needle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, here we go. I'll let you know if it hurts. I don't even know if I should talk about it anymore, but when I tell you that was crazy, okay? I've never felt so sexually charged in my entire life. Friends, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki, and today we are doing a personal video. We are talking about fertility treatments. So about a month or two ago, I posted this on my community tab. If you didn't know, YouTubers can post like polls, questions, updates. It's on the community tab. So if you go to my channel, I think it's like home, videos, community. So I posted a poll asking you guys, I said, hey, I'm about to start fertility treatments. Would you be interested in me documenting the process? And I think something like 90% of you said, yes, girl, let us know. So I've got everything together. I've got my notes. I've got video footage. We're going deep, friends. I have to do disclaimers in this video. First, if you're new around here, hi, my name is Nikki. I don't know if I said that. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell for more very personal, just life videos. If you like these types of videos, you might actually want to check out the vlog channel too. I always link it down below because I always get TMI over there. Disclaimers. Number 1. There's lots of sex talk here. There's lots of vagina talk, bodily fluids. This is not the video for kids. Probably, I don't know, for some of you, this may not even be the video for you because we go very TMI. Number 2, lots of needles, big ass needles, huge needles. So I know some people hate needles, they freak out. Sometimes just some people don't like them. So whenever there's a needle coming up, I'll probably put like a needle warning on the screen or maybe like a countdown so you know, hey, needles are coming up, because I did actually film myself shooting myself up. That sounds weird. Giving myself the hormone injections. What's the third one? Number 3, I'm not an expert, okay? So I'm not gonna talk super technical to you. I'm going to explain it in terms that I understand it, to just be honest, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician. Of course, consult with a physician, healthcare provider before you do anything. I'm just sharing my experience with you. This is not something that I expect you guys to do, and please don't expect me to be like explaining everything medically correct, okay? There we go. Sex talk, bodily fluids, needles, not a health expert. This is just me sharing my experience. Let's jump into it. Okay, so I actually have notes here. I never do video outlines, but because I want this to be as thorough as possible, I actually have an outline on a ripped piece of paper. I have my folder here. So let's start with what I got done and why. So I froze my eggs, essentially. I don't know if there's I think there is a more technical term for it, probably like cryo something. I saw it on a paper, but I froze my eggs. That's the fertility treatment I got done. I think when I posted that community tab post and I said I'm going through fertility treatments, would you guys like me to document it? Sorry, I keep kicking my mic. I think some of you thought I was doing like IVF or something. I think you thought I was trying to get pregnant, probably with my then boyfriend. Yeah, I probably should have specified that. I froze my eggs, but when I froze my eggs, I was already single. If you don't know that I'm single, or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm recently single out of an 8-year relationship. Not recently. I keep saying recent. This was months ago. It's recent for you guys to know it. I will leave a link to that video down below if you want to know all that. So I think it confused you guys because I think you guys thought we were trying to have a baby, but at that point I had already been single for months when I posted that. So sorry if I confused you. Froze my eggs. Why did I want to do it? Essentially, I don't have a man. And I know for sure that one day I want to have children. And I honestly never thought of it until I went to get my annual pap smear. I love my OBGYN. And once you get to a certain age, I'm only 25 after all. Once you get to a certain age, usually, sometimes, not all doctors, but he basically said, you know, if I know you said you want to have babies, because he takes the time and like asks me questions, and he was like, if you don't have someone in your life, or if you're not ready, we should talk about freezing your eggs when you get to this age. And I was like, oh, what's that about? Honestly, I had heard people talk about it, but it never even fazed me. I was focused on my career and, you know, building that, and I was just like, oh, what's that? And he briefly explained it. He's like, it's just a way to, you know, preserve the eggs at the age that you're at, so that, let's say when you're like 40 or 30s or whatever, you want to have a baby, you have those eggs that are, let's say, 25-year-old eggs or 29-year-old eggs. And I was like, oh, okay. So when I went back for my pap smear last time, he said, what's going on? Do you have a man? Are you trying to have a baby? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, let me just give you a consultation to go talk to. He gave me a consultation to a local fertility clinic. And I was like, all right, I've been going to my gynecologist literally for 10 years. I love him. I trust him. So I was like, okay, so that's the why, really. I have no man, and I know I want to be a mom one day. Maybe it's not going to happen right now. Well, I know it's not going to happen right now. God, I hope I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. It's not going to happen right now, but I just basically wanted a safety measure. And if the technology is there, I thought, why not use it? And, well, we'll get to that in a minute, but we'll talk about pricing. I'm going to break down everything for you, but that's really the why. That's why I wanted to do it. I just thought it'd be a nice safety measure, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like a savings, like a fertility savings account. All right, so we've done the disclaimers, the why. Now we're gonna move on to the consultation. So that was the first step, the first time I'd ever been to the fertility clinic. Essentially, you meet with the doctor, you meet in his office, and he explains the whole process, basically. I wish I would have filmed it, but I felt a little uncomfortable because it was the first time I was meeting him, and I really wanted to focus on what he was saying. And essentially what he told me is, because I did bring my blood work, he said he could tell from my blood work I was not infertile, or I didn't have fertility challenges yet. He could tell, I forget what the test was, but there were one of the tests showed him that I was still producing, I don't want to say producing eggs. How did he say it? See, I wish I could have recorded it, but basically he said those tests told him I'm not infertile, and that I would be a good candidate to freeze my eggs. And this is how he explained it in the most basic way, okay? Remember I told you I am not a doctor, I am not a healthcare professional, but he explained that the process is they put me on birth control to basically put my body in a holding pattern so that they can control the hormones and my eggs. They essentially don't want you, because every month we release eggs, they don't want you to do that. They want them to be in a holding pattern, and that's what the birth control does. By the way, I could do a whole video on birth control. I stopped taking birth control like 15 years ago because I can't stand the side effects. But you're not on it for long. They actually give you a, let me cover my personal info. They give you a calendar. You guys, this calendar, I'll show you a close-up, was a lifesaver because there is so much information that they give you and so many medications that you have to take that if you do not have this, you will just not know what the hell you're doing, especially if you've never been through this before. So he explained, you take the birth control, I think it was for 4 or 5 days, then you start taking the hormone medication. We'll get to pricing. The pricing is what blew my mind. So you start taking the hormone medication, and these medications, essentially, those eggs that are in holding pattern, I keep going like this because you have 2 ovaries, they're down here. They're in holding pattern. Those fertility drugs that you take help to make them bigger, okay? We're going as basic as possible. The eggs are in holding, they haven't released, and then you use the hormones and you put them in your stomach, which you'll see footage of, your lower stomach, to make those bigger, so that basically on surgery day, what he goes in and he tries to take out as many of those eggs as possible, okay? So that's as basic as I'm gonna get. You take the birth control, I believe it makes those eggs like in a holding pattern. You inject the hormones for, I think I injected for 6 days, 5 or 6 days, makes them bigger, bigger, bigger. Only ones that get to a certain size can they extract, and once they take them out, they freeze them. So that's basically what he told me in the 1.5-hour consultation. Now, of course, he got more technical. He gave me a lot of articles. If I can find them, I'll leave a link down below because it was so much information and such a wealth of knowledge that really helped me to understand the process. But I want to keep it as basic as possible. So that was the consultation. Then after the consultation, they assign you a coordinator, which is basically a nurse that you work really closely with. My nurse's name was Hannah, and you'll see her coming up really soon. That's the person that's going to draw your blood, or at least in my clinic. She was the one who taught me how to inject myself. She's the one who I contacted with questions. Unless I had something like a really serious concern, I could contact the doctor. But that's who I worked a lot with one-on-one. So the coordinator at that time told me she would email me the pricing. Now let's get into the pricing because I'm still dealing with it now. Let's talk about it. All right, after consultation is when you get pricing, and the coordinator emailed that to me, so I have it all in my email. So you can do multiple rounds of egg freezing, and I didn't want to do that because I thought, let me just see how many eggs they can get from the first round. So he basically explained in the consultation, you can do one round, they can get as many eggs as they try, then you wait, I think he said a month or two, because you need to give your body a break from all the hormones, and then you can do it again, or you could do it 3 times. And people do this because, you know, they want to have as big of a savings account as possible. So some women will do it multiple times so they can say, you know what, I've got 60 eggs, I've got time, I don't have to worry, whatever. But since I knew my insurance, let's talk about insurance. Most healthcare insurances do not cover fertility treatment, which I think is so sad because there's so much pressure on women these days to have a career and be great and be a mom and do this and do all that. And if you focus more on career like I have, and then you turn around and you're like, oh crap, I need to have a baby. I don't have forever like men do. It's a shame that your job doesn't help you pay for this stuff because it is very expensive, guys. So my insurance, I'm so grateful for my job. I have really good health insurance, and they cover up to $5,000 for fertility treatment, which honestly, I was just grateful I got anything. The doctor did tell me, he said a lot of large tech companies cover everything. So if you're interested, he said like Google, Yahoo, think of those huge tech companies. He listed a couple others. He said they give them unlimited lifetime fertility benefits. I was like, that is amazing. But I was just grateful that mine covers $5,000 because I actually talked to my cousin and she works at a university and she was like, they don't cover anything. So pricing for one round to go through that egg freezing process that I told you about at this clinic was $7,000. But the caveat is that does not include the medication, right? So the medication is the things that you have to take to, like I said, to make those eggs bigger and grow, which is imperative. You have to do that or else you can't freeze the eggs. And they said that that can range from $2,000 to $5,000. So minimum, you're looking at $9,000 up to, what's 7 plus 5? Oh my God, $12,000, right? So $9,000 to $12,000. That is not chump change. That is expensive, especially if you have no health coverage. I at least had $5,000, plus I have a flexible spending account that had $3,500 in it. So I had about $8,500 to work with that I wouldn't have to use coming out of my personal account, right? But when you use your insurance, they which I actually like, your insurance may put restrictions on them. Like for example, my insurance said you have to do the egg retrieval in a surgery center. You cannot do it in the office. If you're doing just cash, they can just do it in the office. So they told me that that would be an additional fee. Now here's the thing, you're talking to me now, what is this, 2 weeks after the whole process? I'm looking at what they're billing me. The fertility clinic is billing my insurance crazy amounts of money, and I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to look into it. So remember I told you, they said their fee is $7,000. That's it. Maybe an additional fee for the surgery center and then the medication, right? But when I look at what they're billing my insurance, because I can go online and see, it looks like they're billing my insurance like $28,000. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Remember, this is all now that it's done. So I don't know what's going on with that. I can keep you posted. Follow me on social media, or maybe we'll do a follow-up video to this. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd want to see a follow-up video, because I don't understand what the hell they're doing. Why are they billing my insurance so much? And I don't want my insurance to come to me and be like, hey, you have to pay them 10 grand because they're billing us 28,000. So I'm going to have to deal with that behind the scenes. If you want a follow-up video or you want to know what happens, let me know down below. But initially, when they first sent this to me, they said it's $7,000 plus $2,000 to $5,000 for medication. And I have footage of the medication. And they told me that if you want to book it for sure, you have to give $1,000 deposit, and that would come off of the $7,000. So I gave the deposit because I was like, I like this office. Everybody's really kind, caring. I like the doctor. Let's do it. So I paid the $1,000 deposit that day. Once you do that, it's time to go. He literally prescribed me. I forgot to mention that I think you start the birth control. I can't remember if any of you have been through this process. Do you start the birth control on the first day of your period? They work this around when the process is going to start when you have your period. I think it's the first day of your period or it must be the first. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box because I remember him saying, okay, now that you've given the deposit, I'm going to prescribe you the birth control. I think it was the first day of my period. Start taking the birth control. And so that's when the whole process started. I started taking the birth control, and now we get into the fertility part of going through this whole process. Okay. All right, friends. This huge medication box just arrived. So did Mr. Coco. Hello. Just for frame of reference, because I don't think you guys are going to be able to like see how big this is. It's as tall as my dog. Come over here, Coco. Look, sit. The camera, like, it's huge. No, get back. I'm trying to show them. Get back. Good boy. It's literally the size of the dog. So you open it up because I guess some of it has to be refrigerated. Let me just show you everything in here. Not gonna lie, you guys, when I saw this, I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, what? Coco's just like, can I eat that? He thinks it's food. I was literally like, what the hell? I even have a sharps container for my needles. We have a syringe here. I guess these are the injectables. So all of this was $1,700. So now, it's a little overwhelming. Before I go to work, I have to go in and they're gonna teach me again how to do this. And I'm gonna use this camera I'm filming on to film it because I did it on my phone and I couldn't get all of it because it ran out of memory. So it's a little overwhelming, but I'm excited to get this done, get it started. So let's go to the doctor and learn how to shoot ourselves up with this. This is wild. I don't know if I should like transport it to the doctor's in this cooler pack thing because she did say, I don't remember which one, but one or some of them has to be refrigerated at all times. So I guess I'll just take this big ass thing to the doctor. All right, as you can see, I was overwhelmed. So they basically told me once you get all your medication, come back into the office, bring the medication, and we're gonna teach you how to do it. And I was like, thank God, because as I told you guys in that clip, I was overwhelmed. I was like, what is all this? And Hannah was amazing. She actually told me, she was like, film this so that when you get home, you can watch it because it's a lot of information. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I didn't even tell her I had a YouTube channel. And I was like, I won't show your face. She was like, I don't care. So I have consent from Hannah to film this. So I'm gonna show you, I'll probably speed through some of it because it's quite extensive, but I'm going to show you everything she taught me. And that is the time that she gave me this calendar. And she's like, I'm going to make a calendar for you so you know everything you need to do. She did explain that this might change because basically once you start the medication, you start going in for ultrasounds very frequently. And I'm talking about like, I think I went in for a total of 5 ultrasounds in like a 7-day period because once you start injecting yourself, the doctor wants to make sure that the eggs are growing so you have enough to extract. So let's cut to Hannah teaching me how to use this medication.
Like a bag, kind of bag thing. When you open it, there's like a pan and also a lot of needle right here. Okay. And then I provide you one 300 cartridge, a unit of the phallus, and one 900. You're gonna start with the 900 one. Okay. Because you start with a high dose of 225 today to 9. So I want you to start with this one. Okay. But I don't wanna like open this one. I'm gonna use the fake one first. Okay. So this is gonna be the 900, which is that you have, and also a bag that with the pen inside here as well. And then when you open this is a pan that with the cap. Yeah. And then with the, you can scroll like up. This is supposed to not be inside. You scroll up, so this is 3 part of the pan. Okay. Yes. You're gonna open the 900 box like
Yeah.
So if this is your belly button, you're gonna do 1 inch to the like ½ inch of your finger to the side. So it's like this, and then ½ inch down here.
Okay.
So you can start because you're gonna not inject 1 day. You're gonna inject multiple days, right? So you can 1 day from this side, the other day from this side. You go from this point to outward.
Okay.
And then you can maybe plan yourself 1 day 1, then the next day 2, the following day 3, like on the side. And then what you do is you use alcohol pad to clean the area that you're gonna inject. And since you're really skinny, that you might not have a lot of fat, you can sit down and you need to grab the fats like this and then inject here.
Okay.
The area.
Okay.
What you do here is you're gonna take the caps off. So there's a needle right here. The whole entire silver part has to go into your belly.
Okay.
Once it's going, then you can start to like inject the whole thing. Like you grab here and then start to inject.
Okay.
Once it inject into the end, you won't be able to press anymore because it's up till the end. Then you hold for 3 seconds to pull it out.
All right, so as you guys can see, Hannah was awesome. So then I started injecting myself. Needle warning, I'm gonna put it on the screen. There'll be like flashes. Needle warnings are coming up. Initially, I was gonna film myself injecting myself every day, but then I thought, some people really don't like this stuff, and while it's cool for me to document, I'm not sure I want to show that to you guys. I just don't want to freak people out because I know a lot of people have sensitivities with needles. And on some days there was a little blood. So needle and blood warning and lots of sex talk coming up, okay? So I basically show you, I think it's like the first or second day injecting myself and then the final day. And you guys, the symptoms, girl. Like, wow. So sex talk's coming up, a tiny bit of blood, but very big needles. So you've been warned. Here we go. Okay, hello friends. I'm gonna have to film myself in the mirror so that you can see me doing the shots. Look lovely, just got home from the gym. I just realized I never told you about, I don't know if I should be looking in the mirror, or I think the mirror. I don't know if I ever told you guys about the effects of the birth control. It reminded me why I can't stand birth control. Bloating, headaches, diarrhea. I have the worst reaction to birth control. I don't know why. Always has been that way. That's why I've never liked it. Kudos to you guys that can take it and don't have, like, it was horrible. Like, horrible headaches, horrible bloating. I told you guys I haven't taken birth control in like 10 years and I hopefully will never have to take it again. I couldn't stand it. So I just watched back the video. Basically the video that you just saw, I just watched back to make sure I prepared this properly, which we have it here. So I'm gonna go get my tripod and then inject myself for the first time. I probably put a disclaimer on the screen, or probably already told you guys this, but if you don't like seeing people get shots or you're weird about needles, you might want to fast forward. I am not weird about shots at all. I've never been scared of them. Not a big deal. I just watch them go in and I'm like, all right. Sometimes it hurts a little bit, but I feel like my pain tolerance is really high, so let's get this done. I don't know, you know how she said, or I don't know if I filmed this, but she said that I need to give my shots to myself every day at the same time. And she said I can do it between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m., which isn't gonna happen because it's already, what time is it? It's already 10, and then tomorrow's a date night, and we're not even going out until like 9 or 10. It's like a late date night, so I'm gonna have to give myself the shot earlier. So I'm already being a bad patient, don't be like me, but the rest of the weekend we should be fine. But yeah, today and tomorrow it's not gonna be the same time, so let's do this. This is so funny, friends. Look at how bloated I am. I know some of you are gonna be like, bitch, where? But I feel huge. Anyways, so this is funny having my tripod in the bathroom. It's kind of weird. Okay, so we have our we call it alcohol wipe. She said to wipe ourselves. I'm gonna start here and then each day probably just work my way out. So just screw this off. I already have it at 225 per the instructions. No, I did that wrong. We're already off to a wrong start. You're not supposed to screw it off. Oh, you take this part off. That's a sharp needle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, here we go. I'll let you know if it hurts. She said, oh God, my skin is dirty, gross. She said to keep this nearby, the alcohol wipe, because you might bleed a little. So one finger across, one finger down. Ow, that kind of hurts. Then just push, 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 push. Done. Leave it in for 3 seconds. Take it out. Oh yeah, you bleed a little. I probably should have said blood warning. Okay, that wasn't bad. It was like a little pinch. Not too bad. So that's it. So then you put the cap back on. You screw this off. Well, I can show you. It didn't hurt too bad. I don't know. If you don't have a high pain tolerance, you might think that hurt. It didn't hurt to me, but it's just a little pinch. Oh, it's stinging now. Oh God, she said that would happen. So then you just screw this part off. It's stinging a lot. It feels like a warm sensation right around here. Like you can feel, it sounds weird, but you can feel like it's spreading out. That's weird. Okay, so here's the little needle. Put that down, and then they give you a sharps container, which is, you guys, well, you probably know, this is where you dispose of needles properly. So I'm just gonna drop that in there. And that's it. Day 1, friends. Not too bad. I'll check in with you on day 2, and we'll just keep rocking. It's stinging a little bit, but it's not horrible. I would not want to inject myself in the same spot every day, just because I see why they tell you to move out, because it does sting. Okay, we'll see how this goes. The bloating will probably continue. Hey, don't I look good? Let me turn my music off so I don't get a copyright strike. So, wow, let me hold the camera back a little bit. Let me close the door. Oh, there's my workout pants. Welcome to real life behind Nikki Beauty Bliss. Don't I look beautiful? Let me sit down. The last time I saw you guys was 7 days ago. That's when I did the first injection. And I stopped filming the injections because, can I put you down? Yeah, there. Oh, here comes Coco. He's like, why is the bathroom door closed? Let me open it. Sit. Can I put it down like this? No, nobody wants to see the toilet. Okay. Because I realized some people don't like needles, and some people, or probably many of you, don't want to see me just injecting myself. Let me put this down. What can I put you on? Because I don't want the camera to be shaky. Oh, there we go. So, I'm just sitting on my toilet. Yeah, I just thought people probably don't want to see me shooting up with needles every day. Needle warning. I thought I would show you today because it might be the last day that I have to do injections. So now I'm up to 3 injections, friends. And if any of you are cringy with needles, fast forward now. But look at those babies. Those are some pretty big needles there. But as you got, ow, just pricked myself. Jesus. You gotta be careful. I should actually have the caps on those. I don't have a problem with needles. I never have. My mom, I was gonna say my mom trained me, but literally from the time I remember the day she told me this, she was like, Nicole, she calls me Nicole, you have to look at the needle go in, you're gonna be very strong, blah, blah, blah. So I always, anyways, tangent, we're on day 7 of injecting ourselves, and I have had very minimal symptoms, but the symptoms that I have had have been wild. So first of all, I'm not bloated at all. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but like literally there is no bloating, which is shocking. So what happens is, you saw me inject on day 1. You basically go back for an ultrasound. I've been back for 2 ultrasounds since that last clip that you saw. And basically what he's looking for is to make sure that the eggs are getting bigger. And I have 20 eggs, And at first, the first ultrasound I went to, which is 3 days after injections, only 8 of the eggs were responding to the hormones. Only 8 of them got bigger, and the other 12 were still pretty small. I think he said, I'll get correct information, don't quote me on this. I think he said they need to be 15 to 18, I think, millimeters. I could be wrong, because that seems really damn big for 20 eggs to be 15 to 18 millimeters. But I think that's what he said. So when I go in for the ultrasound, I don't film this because he has a probe in my vagina. A probe. He actually measures the size of the egg. So the first time I went, I was a little worried because he was like, the doctor said after this ultrasound, he was like, we might have to do another cycle of this because if your eggs aren't responding, our ultimate goal is to get 10 to 15 eggs frozen. But right now you only have 8, but he was like, don't worry. You have, like, at that point I had, what, 6 more days of injections to do? So then yesterday I went back for the second ultrasound, and now 17 eggs are larger. I think they're like 13 millimeters and up, which is great. So I think he was like really pleased with that. He was like, this is amazing. This is great results. This is what we want. So I go back tomorrow. The whole process is a lot of ultrasounds because you need to monitor the size of the eggs, make sure they're actually growing. That's the point of doing these injections. So I do 2 at night, and now I do 1 in the morning. And the one that I do in the morning is to stop ovulation, because he said my brain is thinking, oh my God, we have all these eggs, we need to get them out, or we either want them fertilized or they need to be released. So the morning medication stops me from ovulating. But you guys, I've had no bloating. Like, every woman I've ever heard that goes through this process is like, I was so bloated, I was so sick. I don't have any of that. What I do have, I am extremely tired, like really tired, like really, I've noticed that. And the worst, honestly, this might be TMI, this portion of the video is not for children. So if you have children, they should leave the room, leave the car, leave the vicinity, okay? We're gonna get, not X-rated, but we're gonna get TMI here. I have never been so horny in my damn life. I literally feel like a pubescent boy that just wants to like whack off all the time. Did I just say that? It is ridiculous. Like morning, day, night, evening. All I think about is sex. It's horrible. I don't know how people live like this. I'm like, is this what nymphos feel like? It is horrible, friends. I'm laughing, but in all seriousness, I would much rather have the sickness and the bloating than be this horny. It is crazy. It's crazy. Anybody else that has gone through this process, please let me know if that happened to you. I have no bloating. I have no sickness, no diarrhea. I just think about penis 24/7, and it's horrible. I cannot wait until I stop shooting up these hormones. My mom's like, please stop calling it shooting up. Not shooting up, but by the way, my little real hair ponytail. I can't. It's too much. It's like, wow. I might cut some of that out because I shouldn't have said penis, but then I just said it again. So anyways, tomorrow's ultrasound, I'm hoping, so tomorrow's Friday, so this will be probably the last ultrasound. The eggs should be ready to go, hopefully. If they are, then I will get them taken out on Saturday. If they're not, I might have to do another night of injections, and then they'll do it Sunday or the latest Monday, because I think they said you can't inject more than 10 days in a row. I don't know if you can't, but they don't want you to. Wow, I've been talking for 6 minutes. I'm gonna cut a lot of this out. So hopefully I'm ready to get this process over. Mostly, honestly, because I'm tired of thinking about sex 24/7. I don't want to think about sex anymore. I want this to be done. I want these hormones to be done because they are driving me sex crazy. So I will update you after tomorrow's ultrasound for sure. So for those of you, I mean, do you guys really care to see the injections? I wish I could get like live feedback from you, because that's why I just haven't been showing that to you. So I'm like, nobody wants to see me poke myself. But I guess since this might be the last day of injections, I probably should show you. So let me get the tripod. Let's do it. All right, I feel like I'm an expert at injections now. Try not to flash you guys, but look at that. I can't even believe there's like 17 eggs in here. Or no, 20 eggs. It just looks like, you know. Interesting. All right, let's do this. Sorry, hope you didn't see that blood. I probably should put a blood warning too. As you put it in, you can actually, like, I feel something warm just spreading right here. It's freaking weird. I literally right now just feel like warm fluid just like spreading. It's freaking wild. So then they give you a little sharps container and you dispose of the needle. Okay, so yeah. I don't even know if I should talk about it anymore. But when I tell you that was crazy, okay? I've never felt so sexually charged in my entire life. And of course that would happen when I'm single. Like if I was living with a man then, he would have been a happy guy. That's all I'm gonna say. So as you can see, it didn't get super, super bloated. So let's jump to the day of surgery. Good morning, friends. You joined me in my bra. It's egg retrieval day. I put on very minimal makeup. Oh, I forgot to put mascara on. It's very early. I am very bloated. I'm not even going to show you guys my stomach because I feel like when I look at it on the outside, it looks the same, but I just feel like I'm like 4 months pregnant. Like I just feel big and it feels like tense in there. I guess I could show you, but to you guys and to my eye, it literally just looks like, oh, you ate like a sandwich or something. But I feel bloated. My breasts feel huge, like full, like the hormones like have really taken effect. So what time is it? It's currently 5:30 a.m. I have to be there at 6:30. Surgery's at 7:30. They told me that the surgery itself actually takes like 20 or 30 minutes. What takes longer is me coming out of anesthesia. They don't just do conscious sedation where you're kind of like in twilight. They're gonna totally knock me out, which I appreciate. It's a little bit more expensive, but I don't care. I don't want to be conscious at all. I just want to go to sleep, get these eggs out, wake up, and it's done. So I'm gonna try to film as much in there as I can. I'm bringing my mom, so I'll ask her to film stuff, but I'm not gonna film the actual surgery. No, but I'll try to film as much in there before and after as possible. I was just reading, they give you post-op instructions and pre-op instructions, and it says like don't wear any perfume because you're going in the surgery center. I couldn't eat 8 hours before, which I was surprised. I thought it would be 24 hours. No ibuprofen, fish oil, vitamin E. So I stopped taking my supplements days before. They said stop doing that 24 hours before. And then it says after, I think I told you guys this, but we'll talk about what happens after they take the eggs out. So let's go get these bad boys out. I'm excited. Sometimes I get a little nervous going under anesthesia, but I'm ready for this process to be like done and dusted, checked off my list. That's just the kind of person I am. Like, get these big events done. Egg retrieval done. We can move on to something else because this is kind of like taking over my whole mind, the hormones. Like, I'm just ready to, you know, get this done, get those bad boys in the freezer, and move on to the next thing. So if you are still watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. I mean, if you've made it this far, you are a true friend. I don't know, hopefully I told you guys in the beginning to grab a snack because I knew this video was gonna be super long. So that was the morning day of surgery. And then, as I mentioned, I just lost my phone literally 4 days ago. So my mom came with me. I did film. They were so nice in the surgery center. They're like, go ahead, film what you want. They didn't let me, so they put me in pre-op basically before, excuse me, before you go into surgery. They let me film in there, but then once I was actually in the surgery room, they did not let me film. Well, I couldn't film because first of all, my mom wasn't allowed in there and they took my cell phone. But in pre-op, I probably used that photo as the thumbnail. Oh, hang on, work's calling. Sorry about that, work phone call. So we were at surgery day. I couldn't film inside the surgery, but I'll basically tell you what happened. I did film pre-op, but I lost my phone. So you go in, they make me put on a gown. I had to remove everything except my underwear. I had my bra on at first and she's like, no, you have to take your bra off. because they put heart monitors on. So everything except your bra, you put on a hairnet. And then for my procedure, not all fertility clinics do this. They completely put you to sleep. Like some people do moderate sedation. My place, I think they use propofol. I always say that wrong. I was completely asleep. Like I wasn't in twilight. I was out, and I'm not nervous about surgery. Like I don't get nervous about needles or anything. Even when people always have trouble finding veins on me. Even when they were doing the IV, they had to keep sticking me. I'm just like, whatever. But once I got into the surgery room, I was like, oh crap, this is like real surgery, because there were instruments everywhere. So I wish I could have filmed this, but it would have been too TMI for YouTube. They put you lay on your back, like any other hospital table, but then you put your legs up in these like stirrups. Is that what they're called? Like almost like you're kind of giving birth essentially, but then they're able to like move it so that they can control where your legs go. And I like that my doctor, this is a little small thing, but he actually covered, because you have no underwear on. They're gonna go in there and extract the eggs. He covered me up down there until I went to sleep. And you guys, all I remember is that there was an anesthesiologist and my doctor. The anesthesiologist is like, oh, so what's your mom's name? We see she's out there waiting for you. I was gone. That's the last thing I remember. Oh, what's your mom's name? And I was like, oh, my mom's name is knocked out. And my mom said it was like very, very fast. They told me the whole procedure, and they tell you this takes maybe 20 minutes. It's a very fast procedure. I think mine was 15 minutes. The next thing I know, I wake up in recovery. And I wake up pretty fast. I didn't have like any adverse effects to anesthesia. So as soon as I wake up, the doctor's there, and he's like, Nicole, how you feeling? I'm like, oh, I'm feeling great. And he's like, just wanted to let you know, huge success. They were able to get 32 eggs out. I was shocked, because remember when I did the check-in with you guys and I was doing the injections, I think at the time they told me they saw 18 that would possibly be able to be taken out. 32 eggs. I was so grateful, because I was like, thank God. And he even told me in recovery, he's like, I don't think you need to do it again. He was like, you can. You know how many children you want. If you feel like to be safe, you can do a second round, but I don't think you need to, because we got 32 eggs. He did tell me before this, though, he said that once they get the eggs in the lab, they look at the quality of the egg. And if the quality is not that great, maybe they won't freeze all 32. So I was just grateful to get so many, because even if half made it into the freezer, I'd be like, great, I have 15 eggs. And he kind of explained the process of what happens when I want to use the eggs. Basically, they have to thaw them, and you lose even more eggs. Not all the eggs make it through the thawing process. Then you fertilize, and some don't make it through that. So that's why the more you have, the better, because each step you go through, the way it was explained, you could possibly, most of the time people do, lose a couple eggs. So the more you have, the better. So I knew all 32 probably wouldn't get frozen, but I was just so glad when he told me that. I was like, thank God. I think they said total recovery is about 2 weeks. But for me, I mean, literally like after the 3rd day, I felt fine. I just felt a little bloated and a little tired. By day 2, day 3, I was fine. They called me 24 hours later to tell me they were able to freeze 28 out of the 32 eggs, which I was so ecstatic about. And I didn't mention the price about freezing. So you do have to pay for them to store and free your eggs. At this clinic, it is $900 a year. So part of the $7,000 included the $900 for the first year. Then after that, annually, you pay the $900 to use it. So it was in my eyes, it was a success. 28 eggs frozen. I just kind of feel like a weight is lifted off my chest. Now I like have some time to find the right guy. And of course I could still conceive, just packing up my notes here. I still of course could conceive naturally, right? But it's just, for me, it's nice to know I have that option if I need it. So let me know your thoughts down below. I meant to say this in the beginning, but I would love to hear if any of you have been through that process or any fertility treatment process, what your result, only if you care to share. If you don't want to put your public business out there like I am, I totally get it. But if you don't mind sharing, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you've done fertility treatment, if you haven't, what are your thoughts on it? I know some people are really against fertility treatments. I am not. I am all about using technology to make my life easier, advanced medicine to help me. I'm all about it, but I know everybody has different opinions. So let's be nice. Let's share them down below. We're gonna switch completely left here and talk about some PR that has been sent to me. First up, let's talk about this. I am really excited to try this. So this is First Aid Beauty. You guys know I'm a big fan of First Aid Beauty. I use their moisturizer. I'm currently using their lip balm, which I love and I'm almost out of. But this is the KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub, and it has 10% AHA. So it's an exfoliant, and it says that it's a resurfacing body treatment that contains chemical and physical exfoliants that work together to deliver the benefits of a chemical peel and microdermabrasion at once. You know where I'm going to use this? Actually on my bikini area, because it's summertime right now and I get the worst razor bumps. It does say that you should patch test it first, and because I don't have sensitive skin, so I know it's not gonna bother me, but I will do a patch test just because it's so close to the vaginal area. But I think this would be great down there. I've only used it once. I always tell you guys, with anything skincare related, I have to use it a couple times before I can give you like a yay or a nay. So I'll keep you posted. You guys, you get a lot. This is 8 ounces. I was gonna try to describe the smell to you, but there's no smell. Oh yeah, I'm like, I can't wait to keep using this. So maybe we could do like a before and after of a bikini shot, like the bikini line, because mine currently is atrocious. It's almost embarrassing. So I will keep you posted on that. Also got something from, I love this packaging. So this is, oh God, it's a kombucha 11% AHA exfoliant power toner from Youth to the People. I featured this brand on my brand, I think it was like brands to look out for. Wow, it's heavy, in 2019. So they sent me this cute PR package. Thank you, Youth to the People. It has a tie-dye shirt. I'm actually giving this away. Oh, it says Youth to the People in the back. This is actually featured in my current giveaway. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, I have a giveaway going on every month. So this whole PR package is in the giveaway. So I don't want to actually open this. I'm not going to break the seal of the product, but I just want to show you the bottle. Oh wow, it's like a yellow kind of liquid. It says it has lactic, glycolic, black tea, and tree bark. Whoa, so it's a toner. Oh, there's little floaty bits in it. I wonder if that's like the tree bark. So if you wanna check this out, it's in my giveaway. I'll leave a link to the giveaway down below. Thanks to First Aid Beauty and Youth to the People for sending that to me. If you haven't seen my most recent video where we get personal, we talk about all things relationships, check it out right here.